Hello, on this Akhier, and we've got another 7-day roguelike to review. This is once again in a web browser using Chrome, as that's what I've been using. Basically, I can't guarantee it'll work anywhere else, but besides that, on to the Librarian. You are the last of librarians, the most fearsome creatures imaginable. It is your it's your duty to rid library of the filthy interlopers. Seek out and read books to move between chambers. Knowledge has its price, though. Okay, it looks like it just continues. Interloper hits librarian with their flashlight. 48 HP left. Strangles. Interloper dies. Okay. It looks like we're actually in a relatively squat map. Short and squat. Dwarven, even. Okay, suddenly look different. Your eyes get worse. Oh yeah, I'm a W now. That's interesting. Also, it appears the interlopers move diagonally as well as other directions, whereas I appear to have not that option. Which is interesting. Boop. 50% chance to reflect damage. Your eyes get worse. Oh, I'm a white whale. I get it. I understand what you're doing there now. And damage is reflecting pretty effectively. Still taking HP loss, of course. Dang it. Need to be careful with the interlopers. They do move diagonally as compared to me. It's interesting. I have to wonder if that's on purpose. Huh, I wonder if the vision always goes down. Boop. Good soldier, less susceptible damage, and your eyes get worse. Oh, I guess that was the last level. You have protected the library, even if it means losing your sight and being destined to wander its halls for all eternity. The end. Actually, did I go all the way to the top? Yeah, I did. I can't even see the walls. Huh. I'm just doing this because I'm wondering if there's a scroll around or something. Or if it's really just exactly this. Huh. Okay. It's interesting that you get different abilities, though. Presumably there are a few of those. Boop. 10 HP, your eyes get worse. Well, that's a vaguely boring one. I guess, to be fair, extra HP is nice. Not as nice as damage reflection was and whatnot. I must admit, damage reflection is kind of keen. You learn to crush your enemies with existence. You crush your enemies. Oop. Additional attack per turn. I think it's a shame you can't see the last level at all. What? Apparently I just won, okay. Onward. Additional attack per turn, okay. How many different ones there are? Guess that's a good enough reason to play a few times. Additional attacks per turn, I definitely will take over damage reflection or what have you. Okay, now we're just scroll to the next level. Or is it a book? It's a book, right? I'm just calling it a scroll because it's a question mark, which is generally thought of as a scroll, or that's generally the symbolism used for scrolls in other games. Boop. Okay, we've got the reflect damage again. I think I'm on top of a dude. Apparently we're biting off its limbs. That's a bit creepy. I could use that bonus HP at the moment. Okay, X is dread again. You were defeated. The library is now open to the public. The end. That's an interesting ending. Almost makes me feel bad for winning. I'm quite partial to libraries. Admittedly, I haven't been to them as of late. I was in libraries a lot more often in the past, especially when I was still going to grade school and there was a library in the school itself, which made it infinitely easier and also was really nice when it was any kind of weather outside. Less susceptible to damage. I'll take less susceptible to damage. Additional attack, okay. And this is one of those games where you don't need to kill anyone, which is always interesting. Especially since a lot of games like this center around the combat. I guess technically this one does require you to take out the last guy. But still. There we go. Next chamber is a maze, unless it's final chamber. Which it is, so it was supposed to be a maze, but it's not. There we go. Actually, that's kind of a shame. I want to see that maze. Maybe we can get the maze this time through on a non-final level. Nope, plus 10 HP. I find the fact that you have a degrading vision range interesting. If anything, most games either you have a basic one and then you use items to make it better, or it's just another stat you can improve. No enemies. Okay. Oop, there we go. You'll learn to handle a knife. Too bad you don't have one. Okay, I saw it. The spot he's stepping on, if you've seen it before, goes to unseen. I want to see what the maze is like. Okay, it's a maze now. Admittedly, this is about what I was expecting from a maze. Just because, like, there's only so much you can really do when you say maze. Especially when you're dealing with 2D tiles and a single level. Like, you could definitely do some more interesting stuff if you're allowing for other three-dimensional movement and alternate movement types, but with a simple movement system like this is about what you're going to get when you try to do a maze. Like, no varying hallways, none of that stuff. Just simple maze. It's actually a relatively okay maze. All the side paths, or let me rephrase that. As far as mazes go, it's not a good one. As far as a maze for a roguelike goes, it's a nice one. There's a difference. With a maze, like something you'd find in the papers, where you'd have to just get a pencil and trace it out or something, or a children's coloring book, in that sort of instance, having a complex maze with all kinds of twists and turns and long side paths is a good thing. For a roguelike, though, having long side paths is not that desirable, as it'll make it so that people have a harder time figuring it out, and that's just frustrating when you actually have to navigate instead of just being like, well, we're starting here. Oh, there it is. So yeah. And 10 HP. Okay. At this point, I'm not going to complain about extra HP. That's interesting. Yeah. Where it literally covers everything, where it probably just has to do with the vision code. Or not vision, but the memory code of how it keeps. I can't outrun it, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, well, it's not too important. I'm getting the feeling that I've probably seen about all there is to see. And to be fair, I've won the game already. And that's like one of the things, like, if you win, you're good. Less susceptible to damage. Yay. And we're done. Cool. Let's see. The Librarian review. Noise outside. Of course there is. Completeness. Yeah, pretty complete. I like it. No crashes, no bugs that I could see. All kinds of good stuff. Like, you can always add more modifiers, but that's not really important. That's less of adding something to the game and more of just increasing something already in the game. It's like the difference between having like a sword and a dagger and then adding, or a sword and a bow and then adding a dagger, where it's a different thing, as compared to having a sword and adding a long sword. It's like, oh, you have a short sword and a long sword now. More abilities would be interesting, but it's not really something I'd put under, like, perfectly fine for what it is. Aesthetics. Controls are good enough. The fact that it's on this scroll-like thing is interesting. The message, how it just kind of like here, it leaves the previous message stuff behind the new lines, is a little distracting on some of it, but overall unimportant. The small play area is an interesting choice. Quite an interesting choice. It might also be part of the reason why the maze was like it was. Fun. It's not quite at the level where I would have missed out if I didn't play it, but it's almost there. This would be one of those ones where if I was allowed to have decimal numbers in there, it'd be like a 2.3. But because that's not how it works, it's a 2, which is still really good. Innovation. The fact that your vision gets worse every level, that's a pretty nice twist. Also getting new abilities every level, random or not, it's an okay twist. If I don't say, or if I do say so myself, not that I have a game in the 7-day roguelike that does something similar. Nothing at all. Yeah, and you get as much information about what your attack does is what I this was fine. Beside the point. Scope. Yeah, it fits well within like the middle of what I expect from a 7-day roguelike. Pretty good. And roguelikiness, it's a roguelike. There is no question. Full 3, or I shouldn't say full, because roguelikiness isn't like a full or not full. It's just how much is it a roguelike? Yes, no, eh? Like, you could almost do this on just a yes or no. Wasn't for the fact that there are ones that are like if Binding of Isaac or something like that was here, like, I wouldn't be able to call it a roguelike, but I wouldn't call it not a roguelike. But yeah, this one's full roguelike, totally good. With that, I think I'm pretty good. Anyway, link to it will be in the description. As I mentioned, it's a browser-based one, and I'm using Chrome. So that's all I can guarantee. It works on Chrome on my computer. Yeah, I've had to... Yeah. That's not always a guarantee on just Chrome itself. Also, link to the reviews for all of these games I've done this 7-day roguelike competition, or challenge, or yes, challenge. I always try to say competition. Yeah. But yeah. The videos of all my reviews will be in a playlist that will also be in a link in the description. I think I said that already. Anyway, this is Akhier, and I'm signing off.